All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's IEP meeting. Today's meeting is to discuss John Doe, and this is a follow-up IEP meeting. But most importantly, we're going to discuss John's transition plan. So, just want to welcome the family. John's father, Scott Doe, mother Jane Doe, and then of course John, as we know him, and then. From left to right, meet our assistant principal, Katie Wright. She is in charge of special education as well as other educational services here at Sunny Hills. Kelly Ma, as you know, is one of John's teachers, and she's also the head of the special education department. So she serves as an expert and liaison to many of these topics that we're going to talk about in terms of John's transition plan. Mike McGuire is also John's teacher and case manager, so he manages not only the IEP meetings, but typically has more information in regard to John specifically throughout the year. My name is Ryan Bateman. I'm also John's teacher and sort of assistant case manager in this situation. So do me a favor, there's an attendance sheet there on the table. If you wouldn't mind just printing, signing, and dating for me. That way we can make this meeting official, and we can go ahead and move forward. Okay, so everyone's going to go ahead and sign that paper. And again, this meeting represents John's. This is kind of between annual meetings, so we're not going to necessarily discuss his development in terms of IEP. We don't have his updated test scores quite yet, or at least his official ones. The purpose of this meeting is going to be to discuss John's transition plan and what's going to happen after high school. Okay, so again, my name is Ryan Bateman. I'll be leading the meeting. Okay, I'll be serving as a proctor today. Let me just remind everyone, let's please be respectful. We're all here for John, and we want his success. And we will be allowing for question and answer, and let's make this as collaborative of an environment as we can. But again, let's just make sure we're staying respectful of each other's opinions. When someone's speaking, whether it be one of us speaking about the individual topic on the IEP, or whether you're having a question or concern, let's all remember, please, to make sure that we allow the person to finish speaking, not interrupt them. That way, again, we can kind of remain respectful of each other's opinions. Again, I will work hard to regularly pause in between information. That way, there's opportunities to talk and ask questions. It's important that we all understand exactly what we're discussing and walking out of here with the pertinent information. Okay, so we're all here for John's benefit. So let's collaborate, not work against each other. And at the end of the discussion, I'll open it up one more time for questions. And as you guys know, in between meetings, I'm always open to emails and phone conversations should you need more information. So jumping back into the meeting, let's go ahead and get started here. Again, this is a transition plan meeting. And basically, we want to make sure that John has a plan, whether it be future education in college, whether it be vocational. We just want a plan for him come senior year. We know exactly where he's going to go and what he's going to do, and we can start building toward those goals now and integrating some information, some training to get him going toward those goals. So let's begin with John's qualifications for his IEP, and I'm just reading it here. John meets the eligibility criteria for other health impairment, OHI, as you can see on your paper there, and attention deficit hyperactive disorder, otherwise known as ADHD. Even though John hasn't been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, he has a significant difficulty sustaining attention, as well as an impulsively becoming off task with random things, and he has trouble completing tasks. He is sometimes off task with his behavior. He often does not finish his assignments. And he often, because he is distracted, he tends to interfere with the people around him and his own educational performance. Okay, so he just has trouble kind of focusing in class, is what that sums up to. Um, his secondary qualification is speech and language impairment. Okay, we know that English, although it's considered his primary language, he did learn that at a young age, um, in early grade school. So we do consider that his primary language, but he is struggling in some of his language arts areas, and we'll discuss that a little further. In this next section, we'll go over John's present level of academic achievements and functional performance. During the SBAC testing, John scored below average in English and language arts and math. Okay, John will take his state physical testing during the spring of 2022. So that's coming up pretty soon here, which I don't think he'll have any issues. He was given the Woodcock-Johnson test in September of 2020 and scored between very low and low in all areas. His hearing, vision, and distance vision tests have all been postponed due to COVID. So we'll have to find time to get that done in the future. Excuse me. So as far as his current level of performance, again, this isn't the focus of today's IEP meeting, but as of today, periods 1 through 6, John has auto, algebra, English, learning lab, which is basically a study hall where he gets extra support in English language arts. He has another auto class, and then he has football. He's part of our football team. In auto, he has an A. In math, he has a B. His English class has a C minus. Okay, so he's still passing. And then learning lab, auto, and football, he has A's. As you can see, John's doing very well. I think with the added support, it seems to be showing some real benefits, especially with that learning lab class. I'll let you read what his teachers have said in the following page, and that's just kind of their comments based on his performance. One of the main things is he is a delight to have in class, but he does tend to get off topic and lose focus from time to time. In terms of special factors, John does not have any vision impairments. Okay, and he is not considered an English learner, so he doesn't require any special accommodations in that regard. Okay, in terms of John's annual goals, John will be able to better identify what he wants to do after high school by taking surveys and career assessments. We have just begun the process, so John is not quite sure what he wants to do yet, but per his tests, he has shown interest in real estate and becoming a plumber, okay, or working in a trade. Number 2, when given text at his current reading level, John will demonstrate comprehension skills by making predictions, comparing and contrasting, and distinguishing between cause and effect and fact opinion. Okay, and he'll be able to do that with 80% accuracy or better in 4 or 5 trials, and we'll measure that by simply observing and charting. Okay, so we just want to complete those functions of reading comprehension at an 80% clip or better. Okay, that's a B average. Goal number 3, in a structured setting, John will be able to listen to a 4-sentence reading, okay, and express the main idea and summary of the reading with 80% accuracy across 2 of 3 sessions, okay, and that'll be measured by SLP data. And goal number 4, John will be able to use 20-tier, 2 grade level vocabulary words in a grammatically accurate sentence with 80% accuracy across 2 or 3 sessions, as measured again by the SLP data. Getting into the purpose of today's meeting, excuse me, gosh, my allergies are winning today. Lose my voice here. So, in terms of his transition plan, if you flip the page and kind of follow along in this next section, you'll see that John's individual transition plan has already been interviewed and kind of given what we call an interest inventory prior to this meeting. And basically, it was a series of questions. Do you like this? Do you like that? Of different vocations. And he kind of went through extremely interested or not interested at all, okay, with a scale of ranging numbers there. Um, Based on those results, John is unsure about his future after high school. Okay, although his inventory scores suggest he has interest in athletics and real estate, John will continue to receive college awareness and career exploration opportunities while continuing to take the aptitude and interest tests designed to help uncover the right future for him. Okay. Um, in the next section, the offer of FAPE. Okay. Listed in this column are all the special accommodations and specialty program availabilities to help John under the Fair and Appropriate Public Education Act. As a student with a learning disability, listed here is how the school is meeting those educational needs and including the program accommodations, the support services, and program modifications as we've discussed in the past. So before we move on to his accommodations and different the other topics of the IEP. Let's pause for a second. I apologize. Does anybody have any questions regarding John's transition plan? Because, um, again, this is more to discuss the fact that we have now begun planning for his transition. We are nowhere near any one particular vocation or college goal. Um, This is just to notify you of his early interests in regarding to those assessments and the plan going forward. So, um, if you guys don't have any questions, the plan going forward is we will continue to give him these assessments and put him in different scenarios per se to try and explore different college opportunities, maybe different degrees or certifications that he might be interested in. Per one of his tests, um, he displayed an interest in union positions such as plumbing. Okay, we might be able to explore some of those other vocations that may pique his interest. Um, he also mentioned that he wants to play college football. Okay, so we'll explore the requirements and what it'll take to follow that passion as well. So we're going to explore over the next few years um, various opportunities and try to really narrow those down as we work forward and do our best to integrate the training and preparation for those opportunities as he moves forward through his senior year to best prepare him for success after high school. Okay, so um, if there's no questions, okay, like I said, the school is meeting the Fair and Appropriate Public Education Act by offering the different modifications listed here. Okay. And these are all included throughout the IEP. The use of a one-to-one Chromebook, the instructional aids, the learning lab class, and so on. And again, these have been discussed. So if you have any questions on those, I'm happy to answer those now. If not, we're going to move on. The last part of John's IEP as it pertains to today's meeting, we just want to let you know that there's a new section within the IEP. It's already built in. We've discussed it before. I just want to highlight it once again, and it's called the Emergency Circumstances Program. So basically, um, over the past few years, we had distance learning. A lot of students struggled in terms of acclimating to a digital classroom. Okay, so in terms of John specifically, in the event of another catastrophic emergency to where we cannot come to school and we need to go over or we need to go into distance learning again, this is a guarantee that there is a plan in place for John specifically, okay, that includes all of the approved accommodations, all of the necessary um, modifications to his program. Okay, we're not going to give him standardized classes. He will maintain um, something similar to his current schedule. That way, it suits his needs. His we didn't talk about it today, but it's listed under his accommodations. He is allowed extra time to get assignments done, extra time on assessments, tests, quizzes. All of those accommodations will still be met in the event that we got to go back to distance learning. And that's that in a nutshell. Okay, so all of his required accommodations per his IEP and under FAPE will be met by the school, and I will remain available, as well as Mrs. Wright, Mrs. Ma, and Mr. McGuire, okay, for John's needs. So at this point, that concludes our meeting. Okay, if there's no questions, comments, or concerns, thank you everyone for exuding professionalism. Once again, we are here, John, we are here for you. And this is your support staff here on campus. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, in need of anything, we are always here to help you. So please reach out. Mom, Dad, please reach out for anything, any comments, questions. Okay, let's work together and ensure that John will have a successful time here at Sunny Hills, and he'll be prepared for a successful future thereafter high school. Lastly, contact information. So on the bottom of your copy of the IEP, okay, the last page is our contact information. I know you guys already have it, but it's there in hard copy. I know we've also been communicating via email, so all that's there. I just want to make sure you guys have it. And again, let's continue to collaborate. Let's try and do what's best for John. And should any questions, comments, concerns pop up at any point, feel free to email me or any of the support staff you see here. And yeah, thank you for coming in. We appreciate your support. Have a good day.